Om Shakti. The service you render during Irumudi is a commitment. It will never go in vain. The beauty of a flower gets enhanced when you string it into a garland. Likewise, when you do service in spirituality with a pure heart, it gains much more significance. Amma's Oracle. Dear devotees, mandrams and Shakti Pidams, our annual Irumudi season starts on December 13th, 2021 and concludes with the Thaipusa Jodi on January 17, 2022. We seek volunteers to perform service at the Siddhar Pidam, including canvassing for YouTube channels. You can perform service for any number of days. Please send in your details to BangaruAmmaGlobal@gmail.com. Om Sakti.
Om Shakti Parashakti, Guruvadi Saranam, Tiruvadi Saranam. My name is Vishnu S. I am hailing from Coimbatore, Tamil Nadu, India. I first came to Amma for my daughter K. Udita. She was actually suffering from lactose intolerance. Lactose intolerance is an indigestion problem where the lactose in mother's milk or cow's milk will not get digested and it will result in diarrhea. Since she was our firstborn, we were worried. We came to know about Amma. We first came to Melmarvatu, did Pada Pujan to Amma and asked her about our daughter. Amma blessed us as a couple. She said my daughter's health condition is alright and she is good. And since our first visit to Amma, we made several visits to Melmarvatu. My devotion in Amma also grew many-fold. Actually, the president and his family of the worship center to which I am visiting constantly, they serve as an example as how to be a true devotee of Amma. But the real problem in my life came when my second child, K. Linkesh, was born. He suffered from seizures during the third day of his birth. He had this developmental delay and other medical issues. He actually was saved miraculously by Amma. It is a story which is separate in itself. Since my son was suffering from all these issues, our lifestyle completely changed. We had to visit therapy centers, consultations, and frequent visits to doctors also. Once I was writing Shaktivali about Annai Illam, and I came to know that Annai Illam is a center which was run for special children. I thought that I should ask them for some help, so I noted the number and I dialed them and asked them if somebody from Coimbatore could help us. The staff at Annai Illam told me of one Mr. Krishnan. Krishnan was from Coimbatore. He had at that time visited Annai Illam as a consultant. Krishnan was a very humble person. He came to my house, he examined my son and gave us certain consultations with regard to his medical problems. Then I thought that I should also help some children at Annai Illam. Now this thought was given to me by Amma. Now as in the advertisement I read about Annai Illam in Shaktivali, I decided to donate towards maintenance of 2 children at Annai Illam. During my first visit to Annai Illam, I went there and was eager enough to know to whom the donations were supporting, to which special children were actually benefited by my donations. They showed me a picture of a girl called as Mahalakshmi in their computer system. Mahalakshmi was a special child who was diagnosed as a mentally retarded child. She was not able to speak, she could not physically move and could be carried only in a wheelchair. She said that they were a very deserving poor student and her mother had all the inspiration to look after her. Then as years passed by, my thoughts about Mahalakshmi have almost vanished because we got busy with our own therapy schedules and other medical problems of our son. But I made it a point to continue my donations to Annai Illam for the special children. Then came the year of the pandemic in 2020. During that time, my friend had a dream, and in that dream she said that she saw a girl sitting in a wheelchair and I was standing beside the girl explaining about her. She also said that the girl was very sad and she could feel the mental emotions of the girl. She said that the girl was distressed to see her mother because they were financially weak and they were unable to meet ends. Then I was wondering as to who this girl in the wheelchair was. Because in all the therapy centers to which we were taking our son, there were very few girls and they were predominantly boys. Then as I kept thinking about that dream my friend told me, I suddenly thought that it should be Mahalakshmi, and the thought came to me very quickly. I contacted AnnaiIllam. I inquired about Mahalakshmi, but they said that her father had passed away in the interval years, and she had undergone a surgery with regard to her urinary condition. She was suffering from a urinary problem called as urinary incontinence, and she had to be fitted with a urinary pouch. And I asked how she was doing. They said that they didn't have a very detailed information about their financial condition, and all that they knew was her mother was now alone supporting the girl. So I got the number of Mahalakshmi from them, and I came to know that whatever my friend had seen her dream was true. They were very much suffering, unable to meet the expenses relating to her urinary incontinence. Though the therapy treatment was taken care of by AnnaiIllam, and though they were given a wig grinder for their daily needs by AnnaiIllam, yet they could not meet ends because this Mahalakshmi was residing in a small village called as Lakshmipuram, which is a few kilometers away from Neemavattur. It had a few people, and with the corona pandemic, there was no scope for business with the wig grinder also. Then I came back to my friend and I said that I had located the girls whom she saw in her dream, and they were really suffering, and if we could get help some devotees in WhatsApp group, it would be good. But my friend insisted that since she saw me standing beside the girl in the wheelchair, I must help that girl. So I also came to realize that it was Amma's wish, and I thought that I should do something to help the girl, and I took up the expenses relating to her urinary incontinence and the toilet pouch and all the related expenses. And not only Mahalakshmi, my friend also had this vision about certain people who were really suffering due to the corona pandemic. They have almost lost their livelihood due to the corona pandemic, and we located some of them. We gave them some help as far as we could. Some of them were taken away by a surprise. How come we came to know about them? Then we told that it was Amma who showed them to us, and if at all they wanted to repay something, it should be by way of services to Amma. So Amma is really an incarnation of Goddess Adhiparasakthi, because my friend had no idea about this girl. She doesn't know any of the students at the therapy centers. All that my friend knows is only about my son. But in her dream, Amma had showed the condition about Mahalakshmi in particular, and also a few other persons. So we should understand that Amma's spirituality is very deep-rooted. And some of the devotees, they are at a very high spiritual scale. They need not meet Amma physically. And Amma actually interacts with them if they think of Amma and they earn for Amma. They are in a very high spiritual state, and Amma interacts with them in a different dimension, in a different scale. So I think we should develop so much of devotion towards Amma that Amma is helping all these people in this grievous situation of corona pandemic. Om Shakti.
அம்மாவை நினை மனமே மேல்மருவூர் அம்மாவை நினை மனமே.
Please like, share, and subscribe to the Bangaru Amma Global YouTube channel for more inspiring and uplifting videos like this one.